appreciate that. The two drivers had no contract. Yeah, I think it's just because Ryanair is a long-term driver, so they knew who he was and that he was safe. TNKK and Melvin now. It's lights out. We're underway. TNKK ahead into turn one. Melvin gets a pretty good jump off the start, but not close enough to fight his rival. Jurgen battling with Frizzfruit just behind the McLaren and Ferrari the Mercedes and Ferrari fighting for position, but there's a McLaren just behind of Gyro. He's going to be looking down the inside there, starting on the hard compound of tyre. Going to look and try and get past that Ferrari, can't do it yet. Hugo up to P6, gets past his teammate Heiner, and Hugo have swapped position. Hellfire now battling with the Aston Martin, looking to get that position, making their way. Yeah, sorry. Not too much I can do, as Hellfire has decided to explore the grassy wastelands here at Sao Paulo. And he's back on track. Just looked like a massive snap of oversteer there, as TNKK new fastest lap as he continues to lead this Grand Prix. Melvin just barely behind, Jurgen just barely behind them. A DRS train is starting to form. Frizzfruit's already fallen comedically back. The Aston Martin's 5-6. That's Heiner forced to go off track there. Re-enters fairly safely, but yeah, Ryanair almost has contact with him. Heiner falls down all the way to P8 as Lanny now all the way up to P6 in the Alfa Romeo. TNKK takes the fastest lap once more. It's still TNKK, Melvin, Jurgen just off on a race on their own. And then in the background, you can see the Ferrari fighting with the Alfa Romeo, and Lanny's up to P4. Ricardo gets out the way. That's interesting. Falls all the way back, lets Gyro, lets Tim Bleish pass. No, it was 4 points, yeah. Frizzfruit there, looking for a move down the back straight. Goes very deep, and he's fallen back as he has to go on to the runoff. Here, as TNKK finally loses out on the position to Melvin. Is it finally a change in the top three? It is. Melvin is ahead now at, on lap 10 as they make their way out of turn 3 onto the back straight. TNKK is going to try it down the inside. Here, does he have the pace? He's manages to stay alongside. These two trust each other enough to go alongside through pretty much any set of corners. Overall, it's going to work out great for them as TNKK reclaims the lead of this Grand Prix into turn 1, and it looks like we're at a point of the race where these two are going to be swapping it back and forth, so we'll keep an eye on them. Tim has indeed retired from the session. It is an awkward place. It is a safety car. It looks like he did just crash out, unfortunately, and that safety car is really going to shake things up. Let's think for a minute, right? Who's falling back? How's Heiner falling back on a safety car? Heiner must have gone off track then. The important ones, though, hopefully, here, of course. Melvin gets a 5-second penalty! No! Oh, no, it's Jurgen. Never mind. Oh, God, for a second there, I read that and I was like, Melvin got himself a penalty. No, Jurgen just rear-ended Melvin. Okay, that is Jurgen's race ruined, but that's not Melvin's championship ruined yet. How under a safety car? I don't know. To be fair, if that is Melvin's fault, if it's not just Jurgen being negligent, TNKK sent it, by the way. They're going into turn 1. They're racing into turn 1. Medium runner's going to have a huge advantage here at the start. Melvin brake checked. It might be, yeah, that might happen. Hugo gets a 3 second for track limits, unfortunately. P7 for the time being. Looks like he might have had to go off to avoid something, because Frizzfruit is all the way down in P11. Lanny is in P5. P5 is 10 points. That's not enough. Lanny needs to find one more position or get fastest lap so that he can beat out Frizzfruit. Gyro, though, has been brought back into this race with his safety car. Another driver saved by the safety car. He's going to try make his way. He's made his way up towards P8 now. He's going to be chasing down the Aston Martin ahead. Meanwhile, Hugo, Lanny, both on the hards, both scrapping for position. No cars having DRS yet. DRS enabled next lap. The Aston Martin's locking down that Alfa Romeo, slowing him down. And it's now Heiner Hugo. Hellfire P4, he's chasing down Jurgen, but Jurgen has fallen out of DRS from the cars ahead. Hellfire is going to need to get past this Mercedes as quickly as possible, try and work his way up the grid. Meanwhile, Hugo and Lanny continue to scrap here through these tight corners. Hugo's going to have the inside. It's going to give him the advantage through this next corner, though. And indeed, he does have the advantage, has the better exit. Lanny forced to go behind, might try the outside, though. No, doesn't. Hugo up into P6, and a great bit of racing from these two as they make their run out the final corner there. Lanny very, very close to going off track there. DRS is enabled this lap, though, and Hugo, unfortunately, is not going to have that to help him. Not close enough to his teammate. Lanny gets the overtake done here. Hugo actually can let this overtake get done. Because all he needs to do, follow Lanny here, use the DRS that's going to become available to him this lap, use it here and try and get the move done. He is also... Him and Lanny, though, two of three drivers on the hard, so they are going to have a pace disadvantage to the cars around him. They changed the handling so much that it doesn't feel like you're really carrying skills over that much. You're still improving as a driver, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel as good as if I was to just continually race the F4 or Super Formula Light on iRacing. Anyway, Hugo there, battling with Lanny, has come out in P6 here. Lanny's going to have DRS. Hugo's not going to, though. Lanny's going to get this move done. Gyro's going to be following Lanny through. And Hugo loses 2 positions in one straight as he tries to go around the outside of Gyro and maintain that position, and he might have bloody well done it. Indeed, it looks like Hugo might still continue to fight for this position. You can choose to play as a driver, you can like continue on their career. So, you know, you can actually win Lewis's 8th. But you can also play as your own character. I think my team is... They've said my team is pretty much the same, unfortunately. It doesn't seem like it's getting the huge driver rating changes that much. Lanny up to P6 again, stays ahead of Hugo. Hugo got the overtake done on the main straight, but loses it on the back straight. Oh, there's a caution behind. That looks... Bro, I was just telling Hellfire he was doing good. But unfortunately, he's lost it. And Heiner is up to P4 here. Now, if Heiner can close, like 2 seconds, Heiner's on the podium here. So we'll see how that goes. It might come down to a strategy call here. Lanny and Hugo continue to battle. These two are relentless with each other. The two drivers on hards, they know they're fighting for position here. They know they're on the fastest strategy. Everyone on these mediums is gonna have either no grip come the end. Hugo might have forced Lanny a little bit wide there. And that's beautiful for Heiner as Hugo gets past Hellfire. Hugo, what the... As Hugo's now all the way down in P7 and Hellfire is off in the grass. He doesn't have damage, but it looked like something happened there. Ryanair for 3 seconds. And Hellfire has retired from the Grand Prix, unfortunately. Lanny, Hugo continuing to battle on here. These two drivers, again, 2 of the 3 drivers on the hard compound tyres. These two in the best position. Hugo would have been in a beautiful position if not for that contact with Hellfire. Unfortunately. God, again, just a massive snap of oversteer from Hugo there. But Lanny and Hugo battling once again. This is the closest on-track action. Oh no, Melvin also doesn't have DRS. Never mind then. Okay, never mind. Okay, well then, yeah, then my statement actually makes even more sense then. These two battling towards the line side by side. Lanny goes down the inside. Gets the move done. Hugo remains P7. You've got to be wondering, when are they going to come into the pits? Surely, okay, 16 laps, right, is about what the game tells you to do on the mediums. 7 more laps, 21 laps, I don't think that's impossible. It might, you know what, actually, 21 laps on the mediums, it might very well be doable. As Ricardo falls back quite a few positions there, first route up to P8. Hard runners here, 6, 7, 8. Ryanair, another 3-second time penalty. Lanny and Hugo just won't stop tussling here. And you know what? They're doing a really bloody good job of it. These two have been racing... I know they've been forced wide at occasion, but like you see that in F1 esports all the time. That's just a thing that happens in this game because you don't really lose out on getting forced wide too much. I don't think... Because Brazil is very... Brazil, each lap is very short and the tyres are actually very good for the most part. Like, I think soft-medium is a viable-ish strategy around this track. So... Oh god, but they've come together there. Fortunately, again, both fine. I think Lanny's decided he was at fault there, which is why he just let Hugo go forward. Gonna go try it again here. Does kind of just happen. These two have been battling over and over again. Ricardo is the first medium runner into the pits, though. Lanny and Hugo fighting to which... Yeah, these two have been scrapping the entire race. I think they're just having fun with it at this point, which is fair enough. Hugo could have ended up close to a podium if he didn't have an incident with Hellfire, but again, we don't know who's at fault there. Also, Hugo has been the master of oversteer today, apparently, because that man has lost the rear like 3 times. Lanny's doing a very solid job. Gyro's up in P5. Okay, I'm going to talk about this, because I don't get a, you know, I'll try and win his championship, sorry. He's going to get the race win. Hugo's going to get past Lanny here. Side by side, once again, these two just love a bit of scrapping, don't they? Lanny stays ahead for the time being, though. I think Hugo's tyres are a lot more worn, thanks to him losing it. Oh, yeah, I am a Ferrari lover, and I do have the Ferrari team next season, fortunately. I also have Haas. Fritzfruit's turned it on. God damn, Fritzfruit has closed the second gap. Hugo's in danger of finishing P8 here. Melvin P2 is going to win his Drivers' Championship as it stands. Jürgen in P3. He's done a very good job staying on the tail of Melvin. For the most part, Jürgen has not had DRS to help him. Neither has Melvin, though, so they've kind of just equalized pace-wise. Trading lap times back and forth. But TNKK crosses the line to win the Brazilian Grand Prix. Ricciardo is in the bloody wall. That is a beautiful crash there from Ricciardo. Melvin makes his way up towards the line to win the realistic Drivers' Championship. And Jürgen crosses the line. P3, a very, very strong finish from the Mercedes driver. Heine's done everything he could. He can't get close to the podium positions, but he finishes P4 anyway, which is a great finish from the Aston Martin driver. Gyro comes across the line to solidify McLaren's Constructors' Championship. Lanny in P6, Hugo just behind, Hellfire just behind, Fritzfruit just behind. It's Lanny from Fritzfruit from Hugo. The three hard runners, unfortunately, did not get the pace out of the hards that they should have been able to. And Ryanair, who's been stuck in that AlphaTauri all race, finishes P9.